Alright, good afternoon everyone. Welcome back to our Facebook Live video. And today we are celebrating World Oceans Day. So you may have seen our post earlier, this cute little seal photo. You actually will get a sticker image to share on your social media when you sign the World Oceans Day petition. This year it's called the 30 by 30 campaign, which is calling for all leaders around the world to help protect 30% of our land and ocean areas by 2030. So very important move that you guys can make today in helping to conserve our oceans. Even though we are here in Western New York, we're a little far away from the oceans, but of course all water systems will lead out to that ocean. So being around our Great Lakes is a great connection that we can make to our oceans. So we are here in our Aliens of the Sea gallery. We have our upside down jellyfish here among some of our tropical fish. So upside down jellies, this is normal for them. They like to rest on the bottom, spreading those tentacles up towards the sunlight, and they actually have a type of algae called zooxanthellae that will help them photosynthesize and produce their own food. Now, the reason we're here in our Aliens of the Sea gallery is because most of the problems that we're finding out in our oceans is pollution. It's causing a lot of problems for not just the cleanliness of our oceans, but for the ocean animals that inhabit those areas. So one of the connections that we're making today is jellyfish and sea turtles. So a lot of people don't realize that sea turtles actually eat jellyfish. They're very good at doing so. They have a very rough, spiky mouths that will help break down the gelatinous composition of the jellyfish. And we have a couple examples here of what jellies look like when they're floating through the ocean. So on your right is a moon jelly preserved in formalin. So that's kind of what they look like. You can see he's not really moving right now. He is a preserved specimen. And then in the jar on the left, it's kind of moving and floating around, kind of looks like a jelly. That is actually a piece of plastic. So when sea turtles are hunting for moon jellies, like this guy right here, they might find something that looks more like this, like that plastic bag, and they're really not able to tell the difference. So it's important that we keep plastics out of our oceans, because most of the time animals that are trying to consume other foods will ingest more plastic than actual food. So a lot of times, because plastic is not digestible, it accumulates in their stomachs fill up with plastic, and there's really not much food or not much room left for actual food for them to consume. So we like to tell people, if you love sea turtles, which a lot of people do, we really want to make sure we're not using those plastic bags. And if you are, to make sure that you're recycling them appropriately and disposing of them properly. So one of the things that we want to also mention for World Oceans Day is something that you guys can do to help conserve our oceans. So not just by taking care of plastic bags, but I have a few other examples here. So to substitute some plastics, you can use a reusable lunch bag. Believe it or not, adults, they make some pretty nice ones that you can use. You don't have to worry about cartoon characters going to your workplace. You can use a reusable water bottle instead of buying a plastic bottle every time. When you go to a restaurant, you can bring a container for your own takeout so that you don't have to bring home styrofoam or other non-recyclable plastic. I always keep my reusable straws in my lunch bag. So they come not only in metal like these ones here, but they also come in silicone or even glass or bamboo. So lots of different options there, whichever you prefer. And then, of course, reusable silverware. So this set happens to be bamboo. A lot of times you can pick up a fork, knife, and spoon at the dollar store, and it's metal, and you can keep it in your lunchbox as well. So lots of different options there besides plastics. And we also have a way to help keep chemicals out of our oceans too. So one of the main problems with ocean pollution is not just the plastics, but also the chemicals that come from those plastics and that come from other things such as runoff. And we have sunscreen here. So most of us, when we go to the beach by the ocean, we're gonna be wearing sunscreen. None of us want to get sick or hurt ourselves from the sun's UV rays. But one of the problems is the sunscreen that we're wearing is really hurting some of the animals that live there. So even our jellies that rely on the algae to produce their food, corals will do the same. Corals have the same type of algae living in them that will help them produce their own food. And when too many chemicals build up in the water, or even the temperature increase, will cause these algae to really not like it. They're going to evacuate those corals, evacuate those jellies. It's not a good living environment anymore. So with sunscreen, so this is the Badger brand that we have here, you're going to want to look for sunscreen with zinc oxide. It's a natural mineral. It's reef safe. And this kind you can actually buy locally at Wegmans or any other supermarket. So of course, one of the most important things we want you guys to remember is when protecting our oceans, you want to make sure that you dispose of your trash appropriately and recycle responsibly. And especially now, with us having to wear face masks when we're in a public space, whether you're out shopping or walking around the neighborhood, a lot of times you don't want to dispose of your mask or your gloves out in the open. I like to mention that nature doesn't have a janitor. It's up to all of us to keep her clean. So I want to make sure, especially now with those disposable masks and gloves, that we're putting them away in the trash appropriately. So these are just some simple examples of what you can use to help keep our oceans clean. And of course, don't forget to sign the petition. So like I mentioned before, we still got it there. So we posted our cute little seal sticker after we made our pledge to keep our oceans clean. Again, that 30 by 30 campaign, protecting 30% of our oceans and lands by 2030. So be sure to go on, sign the petition. You can choose a seal sticker. You can also choose a sea turtle, a shark, lots of different varieties. Feel free to share those on your social media pages. You can tag the Aquarium of Niagara if you like, and we'd love to be able to see all sorts of animals in those stickers, letting us know that you guys signed the petition and are willing to help our oceans.